Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Infinity Train, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
Sarah Potter.
Hello.
And Sam Quattro.
Hi.
We're back for Night 2 of Infinity Train, the 5-night special miniseries event on Cartoon Network this first week of August. Tonight is the Corgi Car and the Crystal Car, episodes 3 and 4 of Infinity Train, which we'll be talking about, that just aired, and we'll be reacting to them and giving and breaking them down. Find our previous Infinity Train podcasts and subscribe to not miss our future ones at overlyanimated.com. Our Infinity Train iTunes feed is on iTunes and your favorite podcatcher, and our YouTube is youtube.com/overlyanimated. Make sure you've seen these episodes and the previous episodes of Infinity Train. Check out our podcast from night 1 last night and the one from the episode 1 premiere, when that went up at Comic-Con. But we have some pretty interesting episodes, I think, to get into here. So, Michelle, what were your reactions to this night of Infinity Train?
Well, okay, so I know we were wondering about the Corgi Atticus, if he was coming back, and yes, he is. I feel like that the whole first episode was basically fleshing out the pilot with a bit more substance, but more or less some things were beat by beat the same from what I remember, which was a surprise, but like not a bad decision, I don't think, at all. And the Crystal Car is interesting. I'm mostly just like running on theories and thoughts, and like they're all kind of fitting together. But like that's what this show's made for, so I feel like that's probably the best place I could be in. So far I'm having a good time. I'm still in the hype train, but like my questions are crystallizing into a thought that kind of concerns me, but I don't know if I've seen enough to lay it out there yet. So generally I'm enjoying myself though.
Crystal, I like that. The pun there, Michelle.
That was not intentional.
How is that not intentional?
But there it is.
And okay, Michelle has some theories, and we'll get to them. We love theorizing here. Apparently, theories from a quieter episode, so that's interesting. We'll see what you found in this episode, though, Michelle. Sarah, what did you think of this night of Infinity Train?
What I really took from this night was that it was really, like, the characters really played off each other really well. It was really funny. I think the humor really hit. Like, I don't think the last 2 episodes weren't funny. I just think these 2 really showed me what kind of like humor they're going for. Because the scene where we see all the songs is really funny, and the banter between Atticus, Tulip, and One is really great. It's like, especially like one of the funniest things of the entire episode is when the entire night was when One was like, is the tentacle monster my mom? And she's like, it was trying to kill us. You didn't answer the question.
Yeah, the point stands.
The point stands. That was, I found that really funny. And I don't know, I'm not really running on like a lot of theories tonight, because I just thought these episodes were really good, and I'm just like, wow, that was fun.
Nice. Okay, that was fun. That's good. Sam, did you think tonight was fun?
I did. I thought it was delightful. I had a really good time watching these episodes. I'm not as theory heavy as I was last night, I guess, considering that some of my theories I think got proven wrong, but whatever on that end. We'll get to that. But I had a good time. I loved the addition of Atticus. I think he's so cute, and like it's a race between him and One between who's the cutest. I can't take it. They're both so adorable. But yeah, I had a good time. Essentially, what I think of these episodes as being like character episodes, especially the Crystal Car, where we have the Mario Crystal guy and Tulip just being like, I don't want to like bare my soul. It's embarrassing. So I like that aspect of it, and it really shows to me that the show is more than just the mystery. It's also a pretty good character show, considering.
Yeah. I agree with that. This is, I was like really surprised by the Crystal Car. I think this was like way more character heavy than I thought this miniseries would ever get. And, I think I don't know if I was like enthralled by the Crystal Car the entire time, but looking back on it, it was just like delightful and, just really fun. So I really do like that episode. I think that there's just so much stuff there. I think coming out of these 2 episodes, Tulip is like 10 times the character she was before. And I
Wow.
think that not that she was bad before, but I think she's like actually a really good character after like
Did you have to
4.
hear her sing?
You had to hear her
to
sing
be
first. No, I think
better?
these two episodes really double down on the science aspect of Tulip, and it comes together really well. There's a lot of stuff like the correlation causation that's from the pilot, and then you get the scientific method stuff and a lot of logic trees, and there's a lot of just things that are thrown in. But I think the Crystal Car handles it really well in like making them all flow with her character and make it feels really realistic too. I don't know if I've like seen a character like Tulip in any kid shows or animated shows or even, I don't know, TV in general, where like a young person who's very like science or logic based, but just feels like real and still like emotional and a real person. Like there's a lot. Usually these are like side characters, and they're either played for laughs or they don't have that much depth to them. And I really love what we did with Tulip here. I'm really really living for her as being the lead of the show. And I think the Corgi car was distracting. I think that it was like such a remake of the pilot. Like if you,
Yeah.
But it was like, I agree with Michelle that it wasn't necessarily a bad decision to just include the pilot because the pilot was amazing. And this is like a better version of the pilot because they like.
A lot of shows do that though.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
a lot of shows do
kind of remake
insert
the
it at
pilot.
number 3. Like it's interesting. Yeah, it's weird, but it was. That's my main reaction. Just like that. This isn't like a critique. It's just it was distracting. Like having seen the pilot a few times, it's like this line is from the pilot. This line is not from the pilot. Like that was like the main thing I was thinking watching it. But it I think it'll work better like a little bit more space away from it. But the big addition to the end with the panels and the orbs and stuff at the end is really interesting and like a really great addition to the pilot. So I'm very intrigued by the stuff that we get at the end of that. Also, it's just like a really like the pilot was great, and this is just like a slightly better version. It's all great. So I think these are 2 really strong episodes. And if I was feeling slightly down from episode 2, which I still thought was good, but maybe like a little bit of a different thing from episode 1 that we were expecting. I think these 2 episodes, the first one is like fun, and then there's some interesting plot stuff, and then the second one is character focused and funny in a way that didn't know we were getting from the show. I think this puts us at I'm feeling a lot better, I guess, now. Not that I was feeling bad before, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic about all these different types of things Infinity Train can do now, and we're only 4/10 of 2/5 of the way there on the show.
Thanks for doing both the fractions.
Yeah,
Dylan.
you did both. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we have to do a lot. What's the percent, right? It's we're 40% of the way there,
Yeah.
right? So
You got it.
yeah. So we have to do all the math as we're going in honor of Tulip. Yeah.
I can't do that.
I think, I'm more eager to talk about Crystal Car. I think Corgi Car is quicker. So let's start with that. And there's also the plot stuff in that episode, I guess.
Yes, plot stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's the most fun thing with the show is theorizing. And I know Michelle's really into that too. So like, let's talk the end of the, any different thoughts than me in terms of like, it may be a little bit distracting that it's such a remake of the pilot. But like, yeah, if you haven't seen the pilot in a while, there's like literal like, lines and sequences are the exact
Like,
same.
I've never seen the
Yeah.
pilot, so it was fine.
I'm actually jealous
We got
of that.
both sides of it.
Yeah, like,
I'm jealous of that too.
I think it would have worked better. I feel like without the pilot, honestly. I don't know. Like it's still like the Atticus. Do you want to go outside? Do you want to like that? That's like the
But that's
exact
still
same.
funny. That was
That's
still
still funny, but yeah, it is. And then they expand on it too at the end with Atticus. Like, are you going to do this with every door? So like they do expand on some good stuff from the pilot.
I also think they changed. I think they took out the fart joke, which I appreciated.
No fart car. Yay!
Yeah,
Good,
we
thank
we
God.
haven't gotten there yet. That's all that
We're
means.
not
No.
going to the fart car. No.
I think
they
Owen
cut it,
likes
which I'm happy
fart.
about from the pilot.
I think they said fart in the first episode. I feel like so. I don't know.
But I mean, like, it's a little different to be like talking to like another middle schooler, and for it to be part of like an interdimensional train thing.
Interdimensional. Well, that's a big statement. Interdimensional.
We don't know.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Weird train that's
You could
magical.
be
but
right,
it's
we don't
somewhere else
know.
that's
Magical. That's
okay.
another bold statement. You know, this
Oh
train
my
is
God.
not necessarily magical, not necessarily interdimensional.
I want a whole episode where they just go to that monster dancing room. That seemed like where the real party was.
Okay, let's quickly go through all the random ones that aren't our main two since we're done. The Monster Mash car, they referenced that too.
That
the
was
dancing.
good. That was good.
Awesome.
We had Indiana Jones car after that one. There's the car that was just filled with ducks.
Duck car.
That was my car.
Why was that your car?
I watched Howard the Duck earlier.
Oh
today.
God!
Did you know that there'd be ducks in this episode?
No, I didn't.
Also, one just
was-
kept talking about ducks the whole time too. So
I was really surprised that ducks just keep following my life lately, but you know.
I think you just need to get a duck, like as a pet.
No.
Okay.
Cats like that.
I bet. Yeah. There's the floating instrument car with the keyboard.
Yeah, she said gay rights.
That was cool.
Because it lit up in different colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a rainbow.
Rainbow.
Obviously, any rainbow, no matter if they're in the order of the
The
gay
pride
flag,
yeah.
it's gay right.
Okay, yeah, noted. And then in the beginning of the Crystal car, they started the straight up Italy car.
I liked that too.
That's such a good name.
She's riding through on a moped through Italy, and then there's a very Tuca and Birdie-esque Nancy Plants lady.
I love her.
No, she's great, and she's better at making pasta now. Good for her.
Yeah,
Nancy.
that was a really funny beginning. It was like a pretty big parody of like Italian movie, like Person Goes to Italy movie. I don't know,
That's all is what's in Italy. Just grandmas trying to steal things from fountains.
Yeah.
And pasta.
people making pasta. I was like, oh, it's a parody of Master of None, right? Like that's what I thought. This was I thought that was pretty fun. Like it seems like every episode 3 in a row we've had like, oh, we're on a random car or cars to start the episode, and I think that could be a little bit of a tired structure if we do it every time moving forward. But it is also like, we're on an infinite train. We have to show a bunch of cars, so I think, and it is fun to see all them. So I'm fine with it for now. But yeah, I especially like focusing in on the one Italy car in the beginning of Crystal Car. I think that was pretty successful. Let's go back to Corgi Car through the red. So we meet Atticus, we meet the Cordenia, and I don't need to spend too much time on all the dog world stuff, especially if you've seen the pilot. This is all familiar. Sam, what was your reactions to Cordenia and everything?
They were so cute. Oh my god.
You're a dog person for sure, Sam.
I like dogs and cats. But I have a really soft spot in my heart for corgis. They're one of my favorite kinds of dogs.
Aww.
I loved like the little patch of sunlight, and then one being like, the sun's gonna burn out eventually, so enjoy this while you can. I thought that was funny. But no, I just, God, what a world! Just a world full of corgis. It was cute. That's my thoughts on it. I thought it was great, and I think Atticus is adorable. The end.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what kind of dog the ugly dog was? Because I
Probably
liked
like
him.
a Salyuki.
Well, that's
really,
a fancy name.
It was tall
it's
and
a fancy dog.
Yeah, it is a
long
fancy
haired,
dog.
right?
Fancy name for fancy boy.
I mean, it looked. That looks right. I think you're right, Sam. That's the closest thing.
I don't know
Instantly
any kind of
Google
dog
the
breed,
breed.
so
Nice.
yeah, I'm
looking at the
impressed
pictures
if you're
right
able
now.
to do that.
Nice.
Yeah, I know all about dogs. Obviously.
The breed was recognizable, but I didn't know the name like Sam did.
Okay.
That.
That was all fun. I like Tulip saying like, "Hey, thanks, King Dog. Bye." I don't know. That was like different from the pilot. I liked that. And then we get into the shadow monster, the spider, all that's but I think the main thing we insert into Corgi Car is character motivation for Tulip, like an arc for Tulip, basically. At the beginning, she's like, we have to go fast, we're not stopping. I wasted time with the cat from last episode. So now we have to go really fast. And Tulip then gets really frustrated that they find the monster and the number doesn't change. But then at the end of the episode, she says, the number changed. I'm not sure if that's good, and I think that's okay for now. So she kind of learns to accept the situation and be okay with what's happening and kind of enjoy the moment. And I thought that was that's definitely the biggest addition to the pilot here, and I think it really brings it home in terms of having a through line for the episode and having a big arc for Tulip's character, and I like how it continues into the Crystal Car as well. I guess that's something that I didn't. Just in general with Tulip having arcs, a character arc and big character motivation, it's not something I inherently thought of when I thought of Infinity Train as a miniseries. It's are we going to spend a lot of time on how Tulip's feeling about everything the whole time? But it's yeah, of course we have to do that. She's the main character and it's all about her journey. And now that we're doing it, I really love that we're doing it.
Yeah, I like it for now, but I'm worried about
What are you worried
it might
about?
mean. I don't want to say it because we have to watch more because I'm not sure.
Well,
And I,
We're on
and
a
I don't,
podcast,
I
you
don't
don't
want
have
to,
Michelle,
about
it's
it.
not like you've seen ahead,
I'm
but
wrong. But it gives me a little bit anxiety. I'm gonna just wait. Just give us till tomorrow.
are you
and
anxious
then-
about a bad thing happening to Tulip, or like?
No, I don't think. I mean, this show is clearly like bad things can happen in this show, and that's on the table. But I think it's more about like what the numbers might mean for Tulip's like character arc, and if like it's what I think it is, then I'm gonna have thoughts about that. But I don't know yet, so I think.
Okay, well, we're getting into the speculation part, Michelle.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's speculation? I think the train conductor is definitely the like Wan's mom/dad for sure.
Ooh.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think it seemed to recognize it and it left it, and I think it's because it doesn't know what it is, but it's definitely the daddy, like 100% train conductor's daddy.
It's
of
Boxman.
Yes.
Not the right
It-
show.
Oh man, that show's ruined daddy forever. Or
Oh,
just made
stop.
daddy.
A lot of stuff. Stop saying it, Michelle.
Okay, so the
The conductor has to be the dad / mom.
Well, okay, we'll get back to that in a second. What was your theory about the numbers, though? We're theorizing
no,
here, so
Yeah, do it.
I don't want to do it yet. I want to wait for more evidence. Like really, I hardly ever restrain myself. I really do want. I don't.
That's
okay.
why I'm so confused. Michelle.
Michelle's a
I
secret theory
don't know
here.
enough.
That's really good podcasting, is bringing up a theory but refusing to say it. So.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Dylan.
Okay, we'll leave
No,
the.
what about the conductor theory? I think that's pretty strong.
Well,
I think it makes no sense.
Okay, we'll get
And
to. Are you on tomorrow's
how-
podcast, Michelle? Can we get the theory tomorrow? I don't even know. We'll have to
Yeah,
check it.
I'm on the next two, and then I'm gone for the last one, which is tearing me apart. But
Well, maybe everything will be resolved before the last episode. So
mean,
okay,
maybe.
we'll get Michelle's theory tomorrow then on the numbers.
Yeah.
But
I
okay,
guess.
the conductor. That is a good theory. That one is actually the conductor's child in some respects. So the conductor does leave after like.
it sees it. Yeah.
So Tulip hits the conductor with the door, but then it stays
Is that
for
the
a little
conductor?
bit.
yeah, it's the conductor because it's like return to your seat.
Right, okay,
That's
so
the
we're calling it the
conductor.
conductor, but it's not, we don't know it's the conductor. The
guess, like,
conductor
Dylan,
says,
no-
it has to be. It has.
Well,
to
I
be
don't think it's the conductor. I think it's one of those people that goes around and gets your ticket. You know what I mean?
right,
And
could
like,
be the
That kind
attendant,
of is a
yeah.
conductor.
it's just not its final form. It's
I
only
think-
dependent.
I think
don't
we're
know that.
confusing an engineer and the conductor. The engineer is the person who like runs the train.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, they do like the
okay.
coal in the train hole with the fire.
Sure, because that's
Okay.
how
Uh,
nowadays.
That's what I remember about trains. They have
Don't
the
say
fire
train
hole.
hole.
You
Don't say
shuffle
that.
you shuffle the coal in.
Have
that.
you been on like a modern train
I
machine?
don't think
Not
modern
like
trains.
Amtrak? Yeah, but not like the old kind. I feel like this is one of the
Is
old.
this an old kind
Why?
of
Okay,
train?
why do you
old
think it's an old kind of train? Why?
It just looks like it's all like metally and clunky and makes train sounds like an old train does.
I think what's been revealed is that Michelle's really a train expert. Like, I think that's what's clear after.
Yeah, did I
this.
tell you with that fire hole?
I-
thing?
Absolutely
I
Actually,
not.
just want you to know, Michelle, that if Kate had heard any of your talk about trains, he would
Would he
be
lose his mind?
he would be very upset with you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, don't tell him for sure.
Yeah,
then
don't tell
it's just
Sheldon.
secret
Yeah.
for us in
Um,
the internet.
Yeah, is okay? This is the conductor. That's what the return to your seat. That's from the pilot. But then the big thing here is that we get this these panels open up within the
Yeah.
Corgi world.
Yeah, and it moves the balls around, and the balls change the environment. So it was like changing like code of the train. Why
Well,
is
okay.
it doing that?
Well, let's get okay. What we see in the episode is the conductor's like taking the orbs from the holes and like tossing them and like basically just repairing it. It seems like repairing the car.
Dismantling.
But then Atticus puts the orb back, and then the water stops flowing
From the one, we don't know what the rest of them do.
Yeah. So this is like a big thing because we're like, where even are we? Is this like different dimensions? But it seems mechanical, right? Like it seems like this
Yeah.
is like
Mhm.
it's not just this is like
Oh, so
a
you're
real
allowed
place.
to say dimensions and I'm not, Dylan?
I said it's not dimensions.
Oh. Okay.
Mechanical because it's an old school train.
It's not. I mean, I don't think old school trains have this tech on it where you can like change the.
This one's special. Somebody
Okay, it's
like
a special
mentioned
old train. Yeah, so this, I mean, it seems like there's tech powering each car with these orbs, and it's like these aren't like pocket dimensions. These aren't like. I mean, also, I feel like this also takes away the fact this being like a simulation or being Tulip's video game credence, because they're already like manipulating the worlds. Let's do like manipulating like and repairing the mechanics of the worlds within a mechanical world. Like it, I feel like this is like it would feel weird in that. Like this is it's its own kind of video game, I guess. Each train seems like each train is mechanically powered. Each car.
Well, I think what this opens the door for, I think the bigger thing is that this opens the door for them to have an episode where Tulip tries to access these things. Because there was actually like a code. Like it wasn't just like it had like a special tool to open it. It was like it had a code or something. So there's a way for anybody to access these, it seems like, if they know the way to do it.
Yeah, it definitely seems right that the cars would be code-based or mechanical in some form, considering Tulip's all about the technology and the science behind it. So it's at the very least in theme with this show in general and Tulip. And I agree that like Tulip can hack into a car, you know, like hack into the train's mainframe or something, you know, like it's an old school train though, so it's definitely that wouldn't do anything, right? Yeah.
Well, it's a special train though, so that kind of counters the old schoolness.
Yeah, but so basically takes away the whole point of it being old if it's like new and special. But
no, the aesthetic of the outside is the only way we know it's old. The inside's a whole other game changer.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. So what, Sam? What did you think when you saw the orbs and the panels open up? Were you surprised by that?
I thought it led credence to the whole "this is a video game" theory that we've been hammering away on. I mean, you know, we've been like coming at that at a bunch of angles, whether it be, oh, this is actually game design camp, and they're just designing the games, or it's like a game that Tulip is designing in the future, and yada yada blah blah blah.
Oh,
like what if the conductor
why does
is Tulip but old?
So she's doing this to her younger self?
Yes.
It's Infinity Train because it's always Tulip just going in loops over and over again.
So I guess the conductor could be like the creator of the game's avatar, like, and he's going in to try to repair the game. Maybe it is Tulip. Maybe it's older Tulip, but going back in and trying to, and like that's the form it takes inside the game or the simulation to try to repair everything. I could see that.
Yeah, older Tulip. That's my new theory. That's
is the conductor or in general?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, they use male pronouns, but like, who knows what that means? So, I guess that could still be possible.
Older Tulip. That's it.
It's just
the
older
only thing
Tulip.
I'm accepting.
Okay.
No, but a lot of like shows, movies, etc. will do that, where it's like an epilogue, and it's like, I mean, it's my older self, and it's actually just it's like her trying to comfort her younger self by putting herself into a game. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, remember that one time I couldn't get into game design camp? What if I just
make my own design camp?
Yeah, what if I just like make my own adventure for myself when I was a kid, and like it's.
But is it actually younger Tulip in there, or is it like an avatar of younger
maybe
Tulip?
Maybe it's just like an avatar. Maybe it's just like code that she made, you know?
So the person she saw die didn't actually.
So basically,
die.
older Tulip is just making a sim of younger her for like emotional catharsis. Playing Sims.
Wow, I have a lot of theories about this show that I never thought I would have had about any show, but I'm having them.
Good. Okay. I mean, older Tulip is playing Sims. Is I think.
Okay. Dylan, sort of. You know how like Steven Spielberg always makes like an absentee or like deadbeat dad in his movies? It's like that, you know?
Yeah, he does have his tropes.
It's like an analog for herself. Maybe it's not like exactly herself. Well, it is exactly herself because we're seeing it. But you know, if this were real life and Tulip was like, I want to make a game based off of this experience I had when I was a kid when I couldn't go to this game design camp. You know, maybe she wouldn't make a one-to-one analog of herself, but this is the show that we got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think things being analogs for Tulip. I don't know, the conductor being like an admin. I feel like that's a better term. An admin in the game or the simulation. I think that's in play. That makes sense to me.
What if it's all just Ready Player One?
No.
I reject that.
Sarah, what are you thinking when we're having all these theories? What's standing out to you?
I just really don't think it's going to be a video game. That seems too, I don't want to say the word obvious, that just seems like the thing that we would most likely go to. Like that seems like the first thing your brain goes to, and that feels like they'd go a step beyond that. It feels like it just doesn't fit for me for Tulip's story, because then it kind of just, I think, cuts the legs out from underneath any of Tulip's character development here. If it's just like, this isn't actually Tulip, this isn't actually a person we care about, this is just an AI in a video game. Like, I want this to be someone I care about, and I want their ending to be cathartic in some way. And I think if we just end and it was just all a video game, that won't be what happened for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the danger with those types of endings. But
I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to say this theory is bad. I'm just saying that I don't personally see a way where that works in my head where it fits what I've seen already. Maybe I just haven't seen enough yet.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we've seen very little. I think that the panels thing, I think at a broad level, what we'd seen before we saw the panels and the wiring and stuff was a very fantasy, like, not a realm, like a thing that can't be Earth. Like, basically, like, it seems like the train can't be literal. Like, something has to be going on here, magical. But when you see the panels open up and you see that, like, maybe everything is just like wiring in some sense, everything is like either like light projections or I don't know, like what it could be like in real, but like it opens up the possibility that this train literally is on Earth, like, and that it's just high tech, like that's the
Dylan,
biggest like different conception.
But you're forgetting when Tulip gets off the train in the first
right,
episode,
so the
she
outside
finds the cockroach dog.
Yes, I think the outside is the biggest unexplained thing, because the cars themselves can be mechanical and can be real. What's outside of the train? That dimension is obviously not on Earth. So, like, is that all just like...
Yeah, dimensions, Dylan. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, honestly...
I didn't say dimension. What are you talking about?
When I think about this whole revelation with the balls and the coding and such, I think, like, maybe this is just a situation where magic and science coexist and work together to explain all of this. Anything that's not science-y is magic somehow. And it just covers it all.
Well, what is magic except science that's really advanced?
Oh my god, Princess Bubblegum is shook.
But that's what we're actually seeing.
Real,
like, everything, I think everything we've seen has had a quote-unquote mechanical answer to it so far. Like, there's something
except for this outside, right? Like, that's
yes,
so the cockroach dogs.
Those could be bots or something. I think
they
that
could fly.
They suck out Tulip's life essence.
Yeah,
exactly.
That
can't be. Okay, that can't be.
It's not a robot.
I think the outside in play is that the outside of the car, the like tornado that sucks the dude. I think that could be a giant car in and of itself. Like, I think that's a thing.
You think it's like Russian dolls of cars?
Like, it's like, oh, you didn't know you were on another car, but this was actually a car too. Right?
So the train she's on is the car inside of
the train. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that. I don't think there'd be a point to
I think that's definitely what's happening.
Convoluted.
Yeah, have you seen this? Is Inception. Have we seen this?
Her getting out of this first car, which is infinite
the end of the miniseries is her getting out of the car, and she was, oh no, I was on a bigger train the whole time. Stay tuned for 2020.
Forever.
Yeah.
Season 5, the biggest car yet. It's on an island.
See, the thing is, I would be really happy though if that was the ending.
It would be a funny ending.
Such a frustrating ending. Oh my god.
Okay, so we'll see. I think just that the end of Corgi card just like kind of changes the perception from maybe magic to mechanical. Not necessarily it's all mechanical, but I think these two episodes in general are really focusing us in on tech and code, and because Tulip's character, but also just what's happening in front of her. The other thing is the numbers, right? Like we see. It starts at 109, goes to 101, and then at the end of Crystal Car, it's at 89.
Yeah.
We saw it fluctuate in the previous episode, but in these episodes, it seems to be going mostly down, her number.
Oh, did it go up in the second episode?
It might have gone up at some point. It generally seems trending down at the very least.
Yeah, these episodes I only saw it going down.
I only saw it going down. Yeah.
She's losing subscribers.
In the second episode, I guess second episode of tonight versus second episode overall.
Sorry, misunderstood what you.
Yeah. So in yesterday, it probably went up and down a little bit. So Sam, is this her YouTube channel? And
I just had like the worst theory that I don't support.
Oh
but
no!
hear me out.
Okay.
So, the Hunger Games.
That's a bad start.
So it's a popularity number?
No, it's like broadcast. Maybe this is broadcast, and the number is like the amount of supporters or like subscribers she has. Maybe this is like it's
like the people CNN watching the debate with the thing in their hands. They press up or down, and it's like the line tracking her.
Yeah, sure.
It's like her approval, her instantaneous approval rating. What
if it is like the number of other people also in the train, and it's a countdown to who can live the longest?
Yeah, that's definitely possible. It does seem to be going down. So I think like even though last night kind of dismissed the concept that it's just counting down to her death, it still does seem to be counting down. So that's definitely notable.
I mean, I think tonight also kind of disproved my whole thing from yesterday's podcast where it's like 100 good deeds for Tulip.
Yesterday people were very focused on this being some sort of morality barometer for Tulip, and I think that's less of a thing tonight. Yeah.
The only thing that discounts that is it going down after the conductor leaves, because it only left because of Wan Wan. It didn't leave because she was like trying to save Wan Wan or anything. That's the only thing that's like confusing me.
And it goes down at the end, even though she's coming to terms with things more, even though she activates the giant mountain, and like it still goes down even though she sings the song, right? Like it doesn't seem to be connected to good deeds now based on that. I think she was good at the end, yet it went down the second episode.
Maybe she has to be good without trying to be good.
See,
we will get to this tomorrow. My theory.
I thought I had it because I thought it was the Fibonacci sequence, but it was not quite the Fibonacci sequence, and then I got confused again.
This is I don't know the Fibonacci.
Like subtracting it. I mean, like she was like the number subtracted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was 8,
the
but then it was,
numbers.
and I was like, oh, it's 13. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's 12 because I'm bad at math.
Okay, almost, yeah. But it could be some sort of pattern. I think that's definitely possible. I mean,
God, now we have to do math.
No. I don't think it's a pattern. I think the number correlates to how good a job she did on whichever thing, and that's the amount it subtracts. Like if she had a really good revelation that she doesn't realize yet, it goes down a bunch. If it's like a tiny one, it goes down a couple numbers. I don't think the numbers themselves correlate to each other. It's like the amount of what she figured out that she doesn't know yet. Does that make sense? That's totally what I think it is.
I mean, that's what a lot of people think. Yeah, it could.
Well,
it
there's
could be.
probably a reason for that, Dylan. It's
I also
the
think
right one.
that.
Yeah,
probably the right one. I mean, we're 4 episodes in. It could be like she is her doing things corresponds to the number moving in a direction, right? Like that's generally what people think in a broad sense. I also think, though, it could not be anything related to that. It could just be a pattern, or it could be like something we haven't even conceptualized yet. That's it. Like we don't know enough to definitively say anything.
Maybe we should take a hint from the show and stop worrying.
Right, we should just stop worrying. So let's talk about the crystal car. Good transition. So,
no problem.
Tulip learning to just be in the moment and appreciate her good buds. Right, and I don't know if that's the moral of this, but
for bros.
We're in the crystal car. It's really gorgeous with kind of the crystalline plant structures, the crystal animals too, and then you get this crystal dude who she's talking about the scientific method, and I also like that she's like momentarily like wowed by the beauty of the car, and then just goes back into.
I am so upset that like we don't have time to rewatch this episode because I want to read everything she has scribbled in her notebook.
Yeah, especially also like her charting of the song's themes. Yeah,
I want to see all those notes.
I want to see that one too. Yeah, but I really related to sometimes being like, oh, pretty nature, distracted by something else. Like that was great. Then I was like her interesting bit of Tulip trivia.
I love that. I do that too. Sam anecdotes.
Yeah, that was a very Sam thing to say. Yeah, I agree.
Tulip trivia. What would be a rhyming thing for my name?
Sam semantics.
Or like a. Oh, semantics doesn't mean that. Like a literature.
She says
they're both S's.
She's talking about they are both S's. That is literature.
That's as far as I can get you, Sam. That's as far as I can go.
She's talking about the camp and the science camp and the best hypothetically proven hypothesis. She like won that, and then she's like, she got a category disqualified or something later. She's talking about that. Oh, I love this sequence where she puts the notebook away and she says, "Until later, my love," and then kisses it.
Yes.
That was the best. And then we get this crystal dude, and they're doing like charades. And
I love him.
The crystal dude. Why do you love him?
He's just cute. He's big
a nice
and
guy.
bulky, and I can relate. I like his mustache.
Okay, yeah. He's I don't know. He doesn't do that much. He's kind of trying to get the message across. One has I think a few good lines this episode. He says, "You never take my psychosomatic condition seriously."
I forgot about that one.
Doesn't such a good deadpan also.
Then they have to sing to get it to activate. Atticus is singing. Then one does like the dial-up tone.
Oh my god,
that was really
yes.
good. And then Tulip singing this the emotional song about a couple falling in love on a zeppelin.
Yep.
And then she starts singing all different genres of songs. And one says, "I like the ones about unrequited love the most. It's like real, you know."
I love that Tulip doesn't sing great either. That's very satisfying and real.
She does not sing great. Yeah.
She's kind of tone deaf, and it's beautiful.
But she does it really confidently still.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so nice.
The issue she has in this episode is not that she doesn't want to sing; it's that she doesn't want to sing something that's really revealing of herself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can relate.
Sam, which of these songs are real? You said the last one is a real song?
Well, the last one she sings is Word Up by Cameo.
Yeah, are any of the other songs real? Or are they,
I think Alex pointed out that she's sung some Milli Vanilli, the Girl You Know It's True. I didn't, like, I had to rewatch to see that, like, the, I love you, that sort of thing. Other than that, I couldn't tell if any of them were real, but, you know, this is what IMDb is for the fun fact.
Okay, we'll look at the, yeah.
We have to tweet at Owen. What songs are real? Love, Sam.
Which songs?
He said he's ignoring Twitter, though.
Oh, yeah,
that's
he is.
Probably the most.
Who else?
Ignore everyone
Alex
except
is
us, Owen.
Everyone else on the show, though. The Atticus is he's doing this old thing about this mighty tail and about mustard something, right? Like, I don't know.
And he howls. Yeah. That's the thing.
Does
And
howl. Doesn't accept
Tulip is working on the bridge, and then I think Tulip, who makes the abridged pun right after that, but that was I was like, oh man. Saying a bridge right after Tulip was working on the bridge. Yeah. Then the door's locked though, even though she builds the bridge, and she tried every possible emotional theme for the songs, and she like takes out her notebook, and it's like, oh, that's what you were doing. I love that moment. It's like I thought she was just doing all these genres, but she was like a emotional theme chart that she was trying to activate it with. Like, oh man, that was the best.
That was really good. That was really, really good.
And she has to she has to find a song that's emotional for her. It's the first one she thinks of. Oh, the best latch dish effort category. She's from camp, yeah. And she starts like listing things she likes, and ends on road trips. And she sings the song your family used to sing on road trips.
Yeah, the Word Up by the Cameo.
I love.
You knew what that is?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she's eventually like happily singing it to One and Atticus, and it's like really sweet.
I'm amazed that's a real song. I thought that somebody who boarded it just did a really good job making a very catchy seeming song for the show.
A real song.
But it's a real song. That's even better.
They have to get the rights.
Yeah,
when is so it's the actual song, not just like a parody of it? It's like the actual words to it.
Yeah, it's the actual like first verse of the song.
Oh,
when is Tulip gonna sing "Crazy Train"?
Yeah,
on the
she's
show?
At the end.
Crazy Train.
What if we close this series by her seriously?
No, it's gonna be one's gonna like Crazy Train.
Oh yeah, one has to sing.
Oh, one.
He would be the perfect choice.
I like both of those ideas. Either one just singing "Crazy Train," or at the end Tulip turns to one. This
Sure, it's
has
a crazy
been
train.
And then she starts singing it. Yeah, that's the best ending I think for this. I think that's what we should be theorizing about. This giant mountain comes and like takes the staircase out of its mouth and the key out of its necklace, and unlocks the door, and her number changes to 89, and she's like, huh.
You know.
The big guy just goes like, okay, with his hand, with his big crystal head. It's like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, you did a good job bearing your soul back there.
I feel like the moral being like she was trying so hard to make the number change or something happen or move along, and it's like, oh, I guess just being myself and being real. You know, that's
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
moving us forward.
This
Maybe.
episode reminds me of what was missing from Adventure Time.
Yes, I thought of that
Mm.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
with the door. Yeah.
Yeah, the door and having the saying to get it open.
I mean,
But I
that's high
have-
praise. That's a high praise to compare it to that.
Yeah.
and I think this one actually like works a lot better for being just about one character, really, because I think that episode's not it's not bad. It's a great episode, but I think it like it juggles like 4 characters. This one just has Tulip, and it works
I
really
agree.
well.
What was missing is like an all-time classic. This episode's good, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that episode
I'm
wasn't
not
that
saying this
concerned
is
with
better,
Jake or
but
Finn
I'm saying
at
like
all.
I
It
think
was
this works better
very
as a
much more
character.
Marceline.
So it's about those two. But that's true. I do think this episode is very successful for being like laser focused on Tulip's character. It's like zany and very talky and emotional and like it's not like it's not dark or it's not mythology based. And I don't know. I just wasn't expecting this type of episode in the show, The Crystal Car, and I was pretty blown away by what we got from it. Yeah, I don't know. Is this like it's hard to evaluate like Corgi Car considering it's mostly just the pilot, but like I don't know, Crystal Car might be one of the best episodes of the show so far. I'm not
I
sure.
honestly really miss the cat, and that's just because I know Corgis can. Atticus is great.
Like,
Yeah,
the cat-
Michelle, what's
not
your
a cat.
what's your 10-second take on the cat from last episode?
I love the cat, but I mean, I feel like this show's obviously way more pro dog, and that like kills a little part of my heart.
Right? Is the
Not
show
that-
anti-cat? This has been a big discussion point.
I mean, kinda. That's the only cat we have, and she was really sketchy.
Yeah, that's sad. We'll see if she comes back.
She'll
Sam,
get
also,
redeemed.
I know that you did an impression of me, and I'll never forget.
Wait, how'd you know
I'm
that?
calling you out.
How'd you know that?
I
What
listened
did she
to
know?
Ed's last podcast. Yeah, I did.
That's a surprise.
Usually
That's
don't,
Wait,
but I-
Michelle listened to the last podcast?
that's a shocker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I hate it. No, now Michelle knows.
Was it a
That
good
impression
was it
should
a
be
good
on the
impression?
when Dylan finally gets around to it.
It should be on
Put
the
it
what?
Put it on
The
the sound.
soundboard? Oh,
Yeah.
so you liked it then. Okay.
Like, I was equally parts insulted and flattered, so I guess I'm neutral.
That's how you are around cats. You're like, oh my god, it's a cat.
We're like talking about the corgis. That's why it's like you must be a dog person.
Both.
Okay, well that's good too. I'm glad you still like cats, Sam. I like cats.
No, I see a cat, I immediately reject it.
Wow. Sarah, any other things about these two episodes? Or...
I'm still stunned that Michelle listened.
I know, that's the big shocker of that.
Like, that's
but-
more shocking than anything else we've talked
but
about.
anything we didn't talk about from the episode you want to hit on?
I think that there's something of note in that, like, the balls that the attendant was taking out are shaped like 1-1. Like, they're balls, you know what I mean?
I
think
think
there's
there's
some-
one of the orbs.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's something there. That's, like, the only thing we haven't mentioned that, like, jumps to mind. And then the other thing beyond that, there was something we were talking about with the songs. Oh, God, what was it? I'll come back to it. I'm reading through the outline. I'll come back to it if I remember what it was from the Crystal
That
Car.
outline's useful. That's good. Okay.
That's a really good theory. So maybe Wan. Okay, so either Wan is train conductor's son or just child. I don't know Wan's pronouns. Or it's like the ultimate key of the train and it's missing. But if you can put it in the right place, it could like stop the train back on Earth or something. Because he doesn't know who he is. I think that's a big thing. Like, he keeps trying to find his mom. That's obviously very important. I feel like Tulip can't get to where she needs to go without Wan. And maybe he has to do something really important for her involving the train.
That's a good point. That's a good theory. One's the like rope you pull on the bus to get it to stop at the next stop. Yeah, you just put one in the, or it could be like the key to the engine.
The ultimate, the ultimate key for the ultimate pod. He has to go inside or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Who posted the outline?
No one can see it. Don't worry. Just people just posting pictures of people on trains. Yeah, there you go. Yes, I do think 1-1 being a spheres being in this episode. 1-1 could be related to the conductor. I think there's something here, like in terms of 1-1 being important for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam, any final thoughts on the episodes?
What are your guys' favorite road trip songs?
Oh, you can't put me on the spot like that.
Okay.
Chipmunks cassette tape from sometime in the 90s. That's
Michelle,
what we
that
listened
is the
to.
most you thing to
No,
ever
it's
say,
not!
and it blows my
No,
mind.
it's not. That's what my mom had. Since we lived in Utah, and our grandparents were like 5 hours away, so we'd listen to the same cassette tape over and over again.
But saying you listened to Chipmunks as a child makes so much sense for you as an adult.
I'm not gonna think about what that means, Sarah.
Sarah, did you remember what you were gonna say?
Yes, I did, but I'm still just blown away by this.
No, let's say what you were gonna say.
I just really like that this show is kind of doing this, specifically in the Crystal Car. It's kind of digging into this idea of rationalism versus emotional or irrationalism, I guess. And I really like that because it's not. I think what Tulip feels in the Crystal Car is that she's supposed to be not logical, but I don't think the show is saying that. I think that the show is saying there is logic here. It's just you're not thinking about it the right way.
Yeah, in the beginning of the episode, she's like, what's the logical explanation? There has to be a logical explanation. And then it turns out she has to be singing from her heart. And it's just, I think, like a vague moral of like just thinking like based on pure logic is not the way to get there.
Text, and I think the subtext is that she just doesn't know the rules of this world.
Yeah, no, I think Sarah's right. I think there very clearly is some kind of rule about the numbers going down, but Tulip is not able to recognize it for what it is, and that's going to be like the whole point.
And that's cool to have that wrapped up in this episode with a moral like this, because I still think it's nice to show like, hey, you can be a little more open with your friends and stuff like that, but there is still, I think, a plot thing here. There is a larger arc thing getting pushed forward here too.
Okay, yeah, I think there's logic in emotions. I think both thematically and maybe you're saying by the rules of the train too, which is interesting. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, I also think it's just a good theme for a character, and I do think, like, considering how Tulip driven these episodes are, like looking for what Tulip's going through is going to be a sign of like what the mythology is doing in the show.
I love Tulip.
I really love her after these episodes. Like, I think this is so good for her, especially this last episode. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I really feel like Tulip's a unique character on like all the types of shows we talk about, and I'm just like really looking forward to see more of her.
Yeah, what other character likes onions like that?
I know that's true. Well, Vidalia, she likes onions because she likes her son.
She is an onion.
Oh, you know what episode this reminds me of? This episode reminds me of a more like it focuses on like Sokka's thing in the Cave of Two Lovers, but it's like it's not just a joke thing.
What does Sokka do in the Cave of Two Lovers? I can't remember.
He's really upset that there's no logic to the cave, like at all. And he's really upset.
Yo, it is similar, yeah, because like there is a whole logic to that cave, but it's just like an emotional logic versus
it's not. It's how you need to make it
straightforward logic, I guess.
I'm just
I think there's a good comparison. This episode to the Cave of Two Lovers because there's crystals in the cave. I think that's a good comparison. Because it's like they're so focused trying to find the logic of it. It's just following their emotions led them to the logic of the thing. Like I feel like I think that's what you're saying, that like where there's like it's not just that like emotions are the logic. It's like just emotions set you free to see the logic, I guess is.
Yeah, you can't separate yourself from the problem you're trying to solve all the time. And I think
that's a good way of saying it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great comparison. Okay. This must be the best episode ever if it's
if it's that one.
To Cave of Two Lovers. Yeah. What's the no, we won't get into what's the Avatar ships. I asked that every
No.
What are we shipping? Glad one and sad one?
With the sad one.
They're brothers.
Yeah. Are they? Or are they married? Who knows? Sam?
I mean,
maybe they're old men.
What, Atticus in 1-1? Is that the ship? Is that the hot ship?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll see. So,
let us
know what you thought of Corgi Car and Crystal Car on the website at overlyanimated.com and our YouTube comments, youtube.com/overlyanimated. Come talk about with us on our Discord at overlyanimated.com/Discord. You can also support us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Michael, a.k.a. Wazowski. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, Ryan, Steve, Alex, Beatrice, Hugh, Michael, and Needle. We'll be back tomorrow to talk these next two episodes, we won't say the titles for because we're trying not to spoil anything. So
trains.
Train,
Also-
car, something.
I think
Something
hard.
Cartoon Network's promos also like only encompassed. I feel like up to these episodes. I feel like there's nothing
They're
past that.
very intentional, yeah.
Well, they like played a thing that recapped. Just trying to recap last week that I think they're going to play out before every episode, but it included Atticus, and Atticus hadn't been introduced yet. But
Mhm.
whatever. Why are you saying
Keep
like that
guessing,
means something?
man.
Yeah, but it was like you shouldn't have introduced Atticus that way. But I mean, everyone knows it because we saw the pilot. But
Yeah, exactly.
Except for Sam.
except
Except for Sam. Oh, that's true. But now Sam knows, so it's okay.
Wow. I just
Now
want to
s-
say my favorite road trip song is Blood Buzz, Ohio by The National, by the way.
I have to look that up now. Is that like a
I-
country song?
No. I listen
my,
to it every time I'm on the road. Anyway.
my favorite road trip song is the song that Cade hates the most at the moment.
Wow.
what is
That's very
that?
What is it?
Oh, it's just any music
Just
I listen
general.
to, Cade gets very
Oh,
angry
you
about it.
just wow, loving relationship.
How about you, Dylan?
I don't. Do people have just a favorite road trip song off the top of their head? I
Yes!
don't know.
A go-to.
I don't. I'll think about it. Okay, we'll see.
Wait,
if I
not
can-
even like Backstreet Boys or something, Dylan?
Yeah, come
like,
on.
like some bad pop? Like,
Parody pop?
No. Okay. Well, that's
All
just I'll try to think about it. I don't think it would be Backstreet Boys, but that's a good one. We already did that show. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be back tomorrow for more Infinity Train. Yay! Thanks for
Yay.
listening, guys. We'll see you then. Bye.
bye.
Bye.